start bringing up my YouTube, and then I'll hit change.
Don't hit me. Don't hit me.
I'm not going to hit you, Chris. You gave me a shout out twice on your channel. Can't do that. Can't do that. Oh, there we go. Got the echo. On my own echo tonight. Oh, there we go. Got the echo. You know, that's funny because every night one of us does it.
I just want the chat up. I'm trying to find you.
Well, I just started it, so this should be good. I believe since the transition is going to be good, I can move this all over to this monitor. And Zoom is already running, obviously. Oh, man. Yeah, so then after we ran and got back, then I got back and I was doing a Zoom with Chris. And Gary forgot to turn his down. Chris, you want to turn your volume up? We'll be 3 for 3. So after we got back and I fixed the chicken deal, and Alex and Darren and I were doing a Zoom. Alex was comparing computers at. There you go. Thanks. Thank you, Chris. Of course, he asked for my opinion on something. Hey, Tony Wallow, good evening. Actually, Jeff, I was working on this an hour ago, and I had an OBS issue that I kind of took my sweet time figuring out.
I didn't realize something. My computer's etc. channel was not subscribed to you. I don't know why.
Well, I thought it was.
And you made me a moderator. I thought you had to be subscribed to be a moderator.
No, I just think you have to have a channel to get into chat to be a moderator. So
I noticed that on Kerry's, my other channel, the one he made me mod, the other Chris Garrett channel. He made me moderator. I noticed I wasn't subscribed to him. I don't know. I don't know how, but okay.
Yeah. So if you're watching the YouTube stream, you'll see 4 clocks, 2 that have a black screen, 2 that are white, 1 that's kind of reddish, but I put transparent as the color. I personally like the transparent one a little bit better. You know what? It looks like that one in the upper left-hand corner is crooked, but I know it's not. Looks crooked, though. Could be my eyesight. Eyes haven't been doing too good tonight for some reason. So I left those 4. No worries. No worries. Hey, Matthew Camp. Thanks for being here. So later on, I'll get everyone's opinion on what they think, if a background is good or no background is good. It's real simple to fix. There's computers, Chris Garrett. Yep, computers, etc. We know it's Chris. We can confuse everybody else in the world. So did that all-in-one ever decide to work?
Nope.
Okay. You know, it'd be kind of ironic if you all that work you did last night, all the work you did today, the video you did today, and just for grins, you reach over, you push the button, and ta-da! It decides to come on. That would not, I mean, it would be funny, but it would not be funny. So.
I'm just going to kind of wait and see what Doug says tomorrow.
Has he got something scheduled yet?
I don't know.
I don't either. I haven't looked.
I don't think so.
I'm sure he'll be streaming. I don't think we've got anything that will delay or keep me from watching him, because we basically are done packing out.
Well, my mother's still being sick. I don't know how it's gonna go tomorrow. So, and people are in and out. Sometimes people are in and out on Saturday. So I don't know.
She's home though, right? She is home.
Oh, she is home.
That's good.
She's just not getting. Don't seem like she's getting any better. Maybe a little bit, but I don't know. I think there's still some infection.
Takes time. I got some fantastic news from my brother today. He went back for his CT results, and the doctor said, "I don't even know why you're here, And my brother looked at him with a puzzled look and says, I don't understand. He goes, well, when you first came in, and he showed him the x-ray or the CT scan or whatever it was of his lungs, and he said, these are the lungs of a dead man. You should not be alive right now. And he goes, now let me show you results from Tuesday. And Kevin said it was the difference between night and day, except in his right lung at the very bottom, there was a tad bit of scarring. And the doctor said, you can go back to work whenever you want. How much time do you want off? Kevin goes, can I go back to work Monday? um, and then the doctor said, how do you feel about getting your COVID shot? And Kevin said, well, what is your honest assessment of it? And he said, well, I would look at it like this. He goes, you survived COVID once. You might not survive it again should you get it again. I highly recommend you get it. So he said, I went downstairs, rolled up my sleeve, and got shot one. So, hey, Robert. Yes, it's Ken. Really shocked he's not here yet. Hope he's all right. But the good news was his lungs are cleared. He's completely healed. He gets to go back to work Monday. So that was good. That was real good.
That's good.
Yeah. Really, really. I mean, that was no news I wasn't expecting, and he wasn't either. He said he went in expecting the doctor to tell him he was going to be on some form of oxygen for quite a long time. But the doctor said, we will come get all the gear. We will come get the tanks. You no longer need oxygen. He goes, if you get winded, just sit down and rest and you'll be fine. So I told him, I said, yeah, welcome to old age.
Check.
So, but other than that, we were packing most of the day. Lorna did a great job packing out the kitchen and the living room. We got some things, and here's another shock of the day. She threw away things that I couldn't believe she was throwing away. And I almost did a fatal error in asking. Then I thought, a little voice in my head went off and said, except that she's throwing them away. Keep your big mouth shut.
Yeah.
So,
give her 3 months at the new house. She'll be buying a whole bunch of new stuff to make up for it.
well, that's fine. I don't have any issues with that. Some of the stuff we've had since San Diego, and it's stuff we didn't use in Vegas, we didn't use here, and honestly, I'm glad she's throwing it away because we weren't going to use it in Indiana. So Robert said he talked to him around 8. I'm going to guess him would be Alex, or it could be a couple other people, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it was Alex. Did he talk to you about his computer contraption theory? I don't know how to describe it. He lost me. Hopefully he'll join tonight, I'm sure. Let everyone know. There's Mr. Jeff.
Who? Hey, what's up, Jeff?
The other nice thing about today was we finally got to eat. There's a barbecue place here in town. It's family owned, and off and on it's been open, and off and on, more off than on, it's been closed. Every time we go there to eat, it's closed. So today we stopped in, and lo and behold, it was open. Drive-thru was closed, which was kind of odd, but then again, there was only the cook and the cashier working. So I guess I can see why the drive-thru would be closed. Good barbecue, man. I actually went up and thanked the guy after we were through eating, and I said, I wish you'd have been open more often in the last couple of years. We'd have eaten here, more. He goes, well, why can't you eat in the future? I said, oh, we're moving next week. And he's like, thanks for eating here, So, good food. I sent Robert and Darren and Alex a picture of it, but it was really good food.
Oh, well, we had some good news today. My brother-in-law can go home tomorrow from the hospital after his heart attack.
That is good.
Yeah.
He has some blockages, but they think they can open him up with the right medications. He's not a candidate for bypass surgery. He's had 2 bypasses in the past, and they felt there was too much of a risk of a stroke to do bypass at this point. But he's going to wear something called a life vest. And that is a thing that monitors the electrical activity on his heart. He had ventricular tachycardia at one point, and this will correct that if it happens again. And at some point in time, depending how that goes, they may implant a pacemaker. But cardiologist says if everything goes like they expect it to, he should be fine. So anyway, it's
Good. Good news.
was that?
No, I was just gonna say, I went into Kroger today, and I always use, I know a lot of people don't, but I always use self-checkout, and they had a sign that said, something about coin shortage. I don't believe that.
Well, there might be. I've got 5 containers full of coins that one of these days I got to figure out how to get rid of. And I'm not sure I'm going to go to Coinstar.
Well, let me tell you what I did one day. I went to Taco Bell. This is kind of funny. I went to Taco Bell, and they had a sign up that said coin shortage. Please use credit change. So I said, I'm not going to use credit change. My meal was like $6.25, and I gave her a 10. She said, "Do you have 25 cents?" I said, "No, ma'am. I got a coin shortage." She just looked at me funny, and she mumbled something.
Yeah.
She closed the window, and she turned around and told the employee something, and then she started laughing, and she opened the window.
I figured you were going to give her $6.25 in dimes, nickels, and pennies, maybe.
That might be my next thing to do.
Yeah, I was going to say that would be kind of up my alley, but that's pretty good
Hey,
quick
but
thinking.
I like keeping my coins. I save them for a rainy day or whatever. I mean, I just put them up and save them.
Yeah, I keep keeping the pennies in hopes that one day I'm going to come across some rare wheatback or some rare penny or nickel or something, but that's never going to happen.
Yeah, what gets me is like my grandchildren won't pick up a penny if they see one laying someplace. I mean, they said, "No, just a penny. Nobody cares."
Yeah.
I said, "Why do you think I have money saved, boy?" Well, my whole life I didn't do stuff like that.
You might need pennies one of these days when gas hits $19 a gallon.
Oh, Las Vegas officially hit its highest gas price ever, according to AAA.
Over 5?
$4.29 a gallon.
Wow. We're not too far behind. We're $4.19 today.
$4.75 today when I went to Walmart.
Good gracious.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy. I was sitting here thinking about that last night. What a time for gas prices to go up. 8 days before we're going to move, gas prices are going to get ridiculously high. Just my luck. Just my luck. You got some activity
Best
going
price
on.
here is $3.59, but most of them are higher.
Yeah. We've got, let's see, we got Walmart, Casey's, Huck's. So that's 3. Then there's one that's green. Can't think of the name of it. There's 4, and then another. We have 5 gas stations in this town. That's how small the town is. And every single one of them, if one goes up, they all go up. And then we went to Mattoon today, and all 3 of those right there on the highway, they were all at $4.19. It's just.
That's what it was at Smith's here yesterday, but I had gas points for 70 cents off a gallon, so.
Yeah,
and I still put $70 in my truck.
This is on my card.
Yep. But some of the stations here, we live near the windmill exit on the 215 south of McCarran. And there's like a Shell station there, and they are high till I guess because it's near the 215, which is officially interstate on this side of town. So they're trying to catch the interstate traffic, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. I'm still getting an employee discount. They told me it's because I was retired,
Oh, nice.
which I'm young to be retired, but that's how it worked out. When I left, I got
Hey.
my.
Hey,
Every little bit
every little
helps.
bit helps.
Yeah, exactly. Every little bit helps. Well, I'm gonna go grab a water. This one's empty.
Yeah. You know what retired means, you know. I was tired yesterday and I'm tired again today.
Yeah.
Unless I sleep in like Greg.
I was up 10:30 today.
Oh my
All
goodness. Oh my goodness.
I can't sleep in because of that fella right there.
Oh,
That's what
yeah.
he's doing now.
You got to keep him awake when you're awake, although he might not like that.
Oh, he'll be up probably about 10 minutes. He'll be up barking or something. So if this computer, if this stays off a few hours, it does that, those 8 beeps. If you turn it off and turn it right back on, it don't beep. So I gotta add that to the notes, I guess, that I got for.
Did you call the warranty people?
I'm not gonna fool with it. I'm not gonna fool with that. I did, but they act like they don't wanna do anything. My scanner's on.
That's fine. As long as we don't hear him saying, go to Chris Garrett's house, go to Chris Garrett's house. He's threatening to shoot an HP computer.
Someone stole, you heard it on my video probably. Someone stole a trailer with a carport took apart.
They hooked up to a trailer and dragged the trailer away with the carport attached.
The carport was taken apart. You know, it was one of those carports.
Okay. People steal anything. So Matthew Kemp says the DOS Brothers or DOS Brothers recently opened in Gatlin from Portland, Oregon. Highly recommended if any of them open in our areas. I'm guessing he's talking about barbecue.
Gallatin, where's that? Is that Tennessee?
I believe Matthew is in Tennessee, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a Gallatin there. Okay.
That's
There
good.
used to be a place in Nashville, Tennessee. I hadn't been in years, but there used to be a place where they collected caps. They had all these hats hanging up. It seemed like it was a seafood place. I wish I knew what the name of that was.
Remember, I lived nearer to Knoxville than Nashville. Although I used to drive to Nashville when I wanted to fly someplace because Southwest flew in there. And if you flew out of Knoxville, it was mainly, I think it was a big airline that was there. But we had a saying that if you want to fly out of Knoxville, you got to go through Atlanta first.
Yeah. Atlanta's a huge airport. I believe maybe I've got my businesses wrong. Matthew put a cup of coffee in the chat, so it might be a coffee place. I'm not sure. Anyway, if you get something called DOS Brothers, check it out. He highly recommends it. Kind of a slow day today. I didn't watch any of Carrie's. I knew he was live, but I didn't watch any of it. Maybe 3 minutes.
Well, there's DOS Brothers was here in Las Vegas, but it's permanently closed, it says.
Was it a coffee shop or a donut
barbecue.
shop? Oh, barbecue. Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't sure.
There he is.
Yep, there is the professor.
1306 South 3rd Street. That's up in not a great part of town.
No. Hey, Alex.
Hello. How is everybody today?
Well, hungry. Everybody's talking about barbecue.
Yeah, we are. I told him about the picture I sent you and Robert and Darren earlier. I'm tired. I had to rehang a vent that this crazy house had a vent cover. My brother was over visiting one day, and we had the return vent on one wall, and there was this other vent in the middle of the wall. He's like, "What's that go to?" So we took it down. Absolutely went nowhere. It was just somebody put a vent cover up to put a vent cover up. So we took it down and hit it with a picture. I forgot all about it. I just seriously all about it. I go to take the picture down today, and there's this big, ugly hole with the 2x4 running through the. I'm thinking, oh no! I sure hope I didn't throw that cover away. Go out to the garage. I didn't. Okay, how was this up here? Was it nailed? Was it screwed? How am I going to put this back up here? Couldn't remember, so I found some screws that I thought would work. They didn't work. The first 3 attempts, I was standing on the couch. Not a smart thing to do. The 4th attempt, I flipped the couch over up on its end so I could get a chair behind there. And Lorna was holding the couch because it wouldn't stay balanced on its end. So I'm on this chair. Not real fond of chairs anyway. I'm holding this screen. I'm trying to screw the screw in, and I'll be daggone if I don't drop the screw. So Lorna, without thinking,
Reaches for the screw.
Reaches for the screw, and what does the couch do? It falls back. Exactly.
Hey, you could have had a video of that.
No, we shouldn't have. So, I had screws in my pocket, so she got back and got the couch. I did get one in, and then I got off the chair and found the one. Anyway, it is up. It looks as horrible as it did. So
Reminds me, the second house we owned had no return ducts at all.
wow.
It was a rancher with the basement, and the furnace and everything was down in the basement.
Right.
And in the floors on the top story, they had what looked like register covers or whatever you want to call them.
Right.
And the air just went down those into the basement, and then there was the furnace just had this big intake fan on the side of it. It sucked the air out of every place in the basement into the furnace.
Yep. We had a house like that when I was growing up. You kind of look at the way.
Okay.
Yeah, you kind of look at the way things are done now, and then you look at the way things were done back then, and you just got to scratch your head and wonder, how did it work, you know? And it obviously did work. But yeah, we had big old grates. We had the same setup. And the thing is, we had one that wouldn't support, I don't know, maybe 10 pounds of weight, and it was in the middle of the room. So yeah, we had to tiptoe around it for a while. Then Mom and Dad got smart and decided to put something like a table over it so you couldn't walk around it. I just got an update for Google Chrome. Do I trust it or not?
Sure. Edge had an update too, and Chrome.
Okay, I'll do it later. No big deal.
Zoom had an update a couple days ago.
I think Robert takes care of that, actually. Not sure. So, Alex, did you get your interview thing done?
I did, but there was one. I had an answer for it. There was 10 video questions that I had to record an answer to, and I had an answer for every single question, for all the questions except for one. I hope they don't throw my application out just because I didn't give an answer for that one question.
And that's because of the dogs?
No, it's just because I didn't fully understand what they was asking, and
Okay.
and for what little bit that I did understand what they was asking, I don't have that kind of experience. I don't have the kind of experience that goes along with whatever they was asking.
Okay. I'm gonna have to go move one of the clocks, I think. Yep, I sure am. I think I'll just kill that clock actually. Or better yet.
But it is rather strange. I mean, it's like their portion of the so-called interview is pre-recorded. So they recorded questions in video form to tell me what to answer, and I have to answer back to them in the form of video, and each answer is like 3 or 4 minutes long, and so it's a little strange recording myself giving answers to their pre-recorded questions.
Right. That would be odd. Hey, Gary.
Hello.
Good evening.
Fair evening.
Hey, I think I found what it displays on this all-in-one. I was going to ask, did you get it working yet, Chris? No, called a converter board.
Did you call them square crate?
I didn't fool with it. I'm not even gonna fool with it.
Why not? You paid for it.
I know, but I did contact them, and they do know that I went through some troubleshooting steps myself. They said it don't void the warranty. I let them know nothing was damaged. So if I do decide to, I may do that. So are we still thinking it's something with the display? So you're still trying to find the display cable to disconnect it and try to plug in the HDMI. I know where it's at.
Hey, Rick.
Hey, but what was I gonna say?
Something about the display cable.
Yeah, I gotta turn that thing down. Okay. Still not finding that cable you're looking for? I actually did. I think that's it. It's called a converter board. Let's see here. Yeah, I was over at Tim's PC and I said that I saw that you said hi to him. Hold on a minute. Can y'all see that?
The converter board is located in the left-hand side behind the rear. It's secured with 2 torque screws and has 2 connectors. Is that what the arrow is pointing to?
Yeah, it's above the aqua drive. I'm thinking that's it. You're thinking? Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking that's it.
And there's no cable. I don't see any cable going into that where you can just disconnect it to see if it'll force itself.
Those small wires right there. There's some small wires right there.
Yeah, it's pretty little.
But I'm not sure if that's it or not, though.
So Matthew said Doss Brothers is coffee and Central Barbecue is barbecue. That makes sense. Boy, coffee sounds good. If I get through tonight, it'll be 5 nights in a row with no coffee.
Why are you doing that?
See if it helps with my leg problems I have when I try to sleep at night.
Oh, I thought maybe you're Catholic, self-abuse.
No.
If I can't fix it, I have a nice stand I could use. I don't know, something I can mount with this. A monitor or something I can mount with that. And I can use some of the parts off of it.
That's true.
Greg, I think I beat you on sleeping in today. I got up a little around 3 p.m.
Whoa!
Yeah, I was just tired. I just didn't want to get out of bed, so I just went back to sleep around 11. I was awake for a couple minutes, and I said, screw it, I'm going back to sleep. The second time I got up was 11:02 or 3:02.
Whew.
Then Mother Nature called. Once I'm out of bed, there's no sense in me going back to sleep.
Yeah.
It won't work.
You know, that I understand. So, can you guys, anyone that's watching the stream, can you see the 4 clocks that I've got right now?
Yes. There's 3 on the left, 1 on the bottom right.
Right. The one on the bottom right is a plug-in to OBS. The other 3 are from my computer. I can actually change the background on the other 2 to a transparent or a different color if need be. But I kind of like the one on the bottom, even though you can't see the hands. The hands are there because there's no background to it.
I can see the hands.
I can see the hands.
I'm telling you guys, I can't see anything tonight.
They're there.
Okay,
Second
hang
hand's
on.
red, the other 2 are black, or look to be black.
Oh yeah, there they are. Yeah. All right. So, do you think the background distracts, or is that add to it, or should I get rid of the background, or what do you think? Don't everybody
I like
answer.
the one on the bottom left more, but that's, I think, those colors work better with the no background. The red and the white are okay with the blue background.
Yeah, originally it had a red background, and that just clashed, so I got rid of that.
Now that I see it all on the screen, everybody on here probably has a different opinion than me, but I like just having the digital clocks on the bottom and not having any of the analog clocks.
You're too young. I have to have analog clock to know what the hell time it is.
I can't read analog clocks. I can take a guess, but I'm always off. I was raised by digital.
I mean, I grew up saying it was quarter till this, or half past that.
Well, I still do that. I have an old-fashioned clock hanging on the wall over there.
But my grandchildren have no idea what I'm talking about when I say something like that.
Hey Jeff, I got your 6.
What's that?
I got your 6.
6, oh, okay.
So I got rid of all the clocks.
So move the zoom screen over just a little bit to the left and kind of center it a little more.
My grandmother had a clock where you had to move the change once a week. I can't remember what it's called. A grandfather clock.
I have a hard time buying a watch anymore because I want a watch that's got hands on it for the time, but numbers down at the bottom for the day and the date. I want something with both on there.
I haven't worn a watch in so long, I wouldn't know how to wear a watch.
I had a watch like that.
I carry my cell phone, so I don't.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. The good old cell phone. Hit the button, 9:35.
Yep.
I don't even have to do that. My controller, my joystick has a clock built into it. Now, granted, I have to set it manually. It doesn't automatically set like a cell phone clock does, but I don't even wear a watch anymore because I'll always be in the wheelchair and always be looking at the joystick anyway. So.
I'm wearing a watch right now. No
I
joke.
haven't worn a watch in 20-some years.
And if you want to know a joke that my wife teases me about, I have one watch that takes batteries, and it's a 60-year-old watch.
Timex. It takes a licking and keeps on ticking.
No, it's an Accutron.
A who?
Accutron.
Oh, Accutron had advertised as having a quartz
Yep,
crystal in it.
it hums.
Back in the day.
I can only assume my joystick has some kind of clock battery in it, like a BIOS battery, because.
Well, the whole thing has a battery in it, doesn't it? The wheelchair.
And battery power.
Yes, or batteries rather. But I'm talking specifically about the battery that keeps the time function, because you can unplug, you can disconnect the joystick from the wheelchair, unplug the joystick, and when you plug it back in and turn it back on, it will still keep the time correct. Just like your motherboard battery, just like your CMOS battery does for your motherboard.
Well, it's probably got a coin battery in it someplace, 2016, 2032, whatever.
Oh, excuse me. That's a rib from this afternoon burp right there. That's pretty good.
I have no idea, but I do know it is just the controller itself for this wheelchair is $1,000.
My neighbors
But the
came over.
joystick was just so you could push on it and peel out.
Yeah, it is, but it's got the screen and the horn and all that built into it too.
Okay.
What was the
They
bars
have
that
a
used to
profit.
stick out the back of the car so if it came up it wouldn't flip over? What were those called?
Wheelie bars.
Wheelie bars.
Yeah, that's
Wheelie
right.
bars.
Okay. See Alex's wheelchair in there. He's got 2 of those on the back.
I actually don't have those, but the wheelchairs do have I do have 4 casters and two big wheels, so there's always 6 wheels on the ground on this thing.
Did you get your computer dilemma worked out?
Oh, what are you referring to?
You were discussing whether you wanted Tim's or a new one or another one or
Oh, I still haven't decided yet
okay.
because I don't see a point of ordering the rest of the stuff I would need till I actually get a job. And if I get a job working for somewhere, I'm sorry,
I would never get around to the computer.
there really won't be a use for it if I get
That's
a
true.
job working on site somewhere.
That's true.
What was you gonna say, Rick?
You'll probably never get around to that computer if you're working. You'll have my problem. You work 10, 11 hours and you come home, you just got no energy to do anything else.
No, Rick. I was trying to find a computer that I could run that I could use as a router to run as a router. So I'd be able to separate my home network and everything else on my home network from my work computer or whatever they provide.
Huh.
Hey, Alex, I got a link in there, what you need. I got wheelie bars for your wheelchair.
I got to see this.
Well, they're not as good as I hoped they would be, but
You need at least 2,000 pound load on them or they're good. What do how much?
yes, I asked just for a regular wheelchair.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a car.
No, it's not for the super sport model that you got, probably.
Yeah.
Need something a little more stylish for what you're driving.
Well, I think it's pretty stylish the way it is. I mean, I ran into a guy the other day with exactly the same wheelchair as I've got. When we went to the same place the other day, I ran into a guy that had exactly the same brand and color of wheelchair that I have.
You say you ran into him. Did he say ouch?
I was thinking when he said that, yeah. Did you hurt him?
No, I didn't hurt him.
So did that conversation go, hey, you want to line him up and run him?
But there one thing.
No, it didn't.
One thing. His chair actually he doesn't have the go up and down function like I do on my chair, where the seat will raise up and down. It won't. He doesn't have that function. But other than
Same
that,
color, same everything. I mean, identical chairs.
other than the fact that his wheelchair does not have the eye level function, the function that raises the seat up and down,
Right.
his chair is identical to my chair.
Okay.
Same controller, same color. There is one difference. That his has that mine doesn't have, and that's they make a little piece of color that goes over the top of the controller that matches the actual color on the chair. Mine doesn't have that, but he's got the little controller, little cover that's green like the rest of the chair. My controller is just solid black and silver. I looked up to see how much one of those little plastic pieces are though, and even just a little plastic piece is over $100. And it's not worth it because all it is aesthetic.
So you said you have eye correcting capabilities. It raises you to eye level.
Yes.
Does it do that automatically?
It gives me an extra foot.
Oh, okay.
Basically.
Does it do that automatically, or do you do that?
I do that.
Okay.
And when I raise it up, it limits it to 4.5 miles an hour. But when it's all the way down out of that eye level mode, it goes 6 miles an hour.
Need to put some turbochargers on that wheelchair.
Well, it's a good thing you don't beat anybody that's like 6'8", 6'9", 7 foot tall. That could be a difficult raise to the air to get to their eye level. Man, that'd be a little wobbly at the top too.
But you know, the cool thing about it, the college had just, because of COVID, the college had just installed these touchscreen TV screens that have that have a version of Android on them that you can use as a whiteboard, so you can draw on it and all that. And I was able to actually raise up high enough to be able to use the pen on the whiteboard function and be able to draw on the.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it is.
They don't make chalkboards anymore.
At my college, they replaced all of the projectors with these flat screen TV touch screen 70-inch or so ish monitors that run a version of Android, so you can use the whiteboard function on them, and they have HDMI and all the normal stuff, but
I think our college and I think our high school here in the Brenham High School, I think they're switching it all over to digital chalkboards.
They're called Promethean. They're called Promethean boards.
Yeah.
I think is what the ones they have.
All you gotta do is the teacher has to go up, is tap a thing, and the thing comes on. Holy crap! Wow.
Yeah, some of us remember real chalkboards, and then
Yeah.
everybody went to whiteboards with erasable markers, and now those are obsolete, I guess.
Back when I was in high school, they had smart boards, and what those things were is those things would connect to your computer via USB, but they didn't have any kind of LED light source or provide any kind of video source by themselves. So what you had to do is it was just a white screen, like a pull down screen for a projector, and you had to have a projector project onto it. So every time you wanted to use the touch functions on that, you had to calibrate it with the projector, and it was a pain in the butt. I never got it to work.
They're turning our high school into a smart high school. Anytime you walk into a room, the lights come on automatically because it detects someone in there.
They've got a few of the rooms like that at college not all the rooms, but some of them, including the bathrooms. And let me tell you, that's annoying because sometimes it takes me a good, 10 or 15 minutes to get in there, get in and out, and I've had the lights turn off on me more than once. But ever since I got this wheelchair, I've got lights. So if lights go off on me now, I can just reach down here and press this button and turn my lights on.
Well, at our high school, they don't work like that. I mean, they can, but those sensors up in the ceiling actually have an eye sensor. It will track somebody moving in the room, so the light never shuts off. Unless you stand perfectly still like a statue for like 8 minutes, then yeah, it will shut off. But it keeps looking at you. But if you don't move for like 8 minutes, yeah, it will shut it off. But who stands like a statue for 8 minutes?
Those sensors don't. My problem was those sensors in those bathrooms don't work if you're in the stall with the door shut. And so you have to. So that was my situation. That's the reason why they turned off on me. And then if I didn't have no light, I'd have to bang on the wall or bang on the door or something, get somebody to step in the bathroom and turn the light back on.
You should trust me to be the weird one tonight. Guess what Microsoft did today? They're not going to
recalled Windows 11.
They're not going to sell their service anything in Russia. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I saw that. They're cutting everything off to them.
Joining Ford and General Motors with not servicing their customers in Russia.
They're thinking that's going to help, honey.
Well, we have a plant in England and they can't get any parts from Russia. So we're going to be shut down here in a week. And I didn't tell you anything that's not in the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, it could get kind of hairy here in the next couple of weeks on things.
When they cut off all their money, they shut down their banks, they shut everything off for them.
That's why I've got my 5 cans of coins.
Yeah, the problem is our UAW workers will get unemployment and compensation, but the person at the pizza parlor at lunch will not get that kind of compensation. The proverbial lady, she'll go home and get $100 a week on unemployment. But hell with the cheese patriot, she doesn't need money. Tell her kids to starve.
Yeah, we don't want the kids to starve. Don't want anyone to starve for that matter. Matthew was saying, I think when we talked about the lice, he said he thought he had that in his elementary school in 4th grade. When I went to high school, the heaters were the old steam radiators. I'm sure a couple of us can remember that.
Yep. Franklin Junior High here in Brainerd. Those old steam radiators up against the wall.
Jeff, it looks like you've got some criminal cases that are making the headlines out your way. I saw one yesterday, I thought, where a woman that killed somebody was out on bail and she skipped her court date.
Yep.
She's still gone?
Yeah, as far as I know. That was from a couple of years back almost when the incident happened, I think.
Yeah, 2019, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, you know what they say, speedy trial.
The problem our county we've been having is the police have been dealing with high-speed chases consistently. We just had one the other day of over 110 miles an hour. They finally stopped him in Pine River, 32 miles from here.
Wow.
We've had a lot of cases here. Well, there was the infamous one a few weeks ago where a guy blew through an intersection at about 150 miles an hour and killed 9 people, including himself and his passenger.
What kind of car?
Don't remember, but one of the things I've been having problems with here is actually street racing, and the cops finally got enough people complaining. They've really started to crack down on it. So hopefully it'll do something.
We don't have as big a problem right now, but we did. We do during the summer. But the problem with Detroit area, there's a lot of places, even in Detroit, that 2 or 3 blocks each way there's nothing there, so nobody's patrolling it.
Right.
I mean, it's not in a populated area, and it's not in what you quote would say a good area. So literally, there's no cop cars in that area for 3 or 4 hours at a time.
Yeah, the other thing we got here, and I think Steve Lato mentioned this on his channel, we have a Metro cop who used his Metro issued firearm to rob 3 casinos.
Well, even if he didn't, he still copped around 3 casinos.
Yep.
And when I lived in Knox, someone stole a carport.
Yeah, that's
That's
We
crazy.
had that happen here a couple of years. A kid got to a squad car and drove off with it. He didn't get very far. I believe he's still in prison for that. That was what, 10 years ago?
I got my license in '75, and I've always had, well, hell, fast cars. But my dad told me something before I got my license. As a quote father figure at the time, he said, "You will probably have a car that can outrun every cop car on the road, but you can't outrun the radar and the photos."
You can't outrun them. I think that's what
Running
they
radio is what they used to say.
I think that's what they guy that went up to Pine River thought. Just because they're out of sight, you can outrun them. No, they just radioed ahead to Pine River and said, "We got one coming at you, 110.
yeah.
Block him." Well, he met up with 8 cop cars in the middle of the road, sitting sideways. He had no choice but to stop.
Yeah.
Making progress, Chris.
Huh? I hadn't touched it, and not really.
Can't outrun Motorola.
That's right.
Yep, that's what they used to say. We did. When I was in high school, we used to outrun a couple of small town cops, but they only had like 1 cop car on at night.
Actually, just like Steve says, but I have, I'm from a small town in Kentucky, and the joke is most of them have a freeway going by, so they got more than 1 cop car now. Revenue maker.
Oh yeah.
No, nobody's in town. Nobody in town, watching anything, but they're all on the freeway.
So I
You don't have
posed.
to be crooked. You just sit there and somebody's going by at 85 mile an hour in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
How
posed
did
this
you have to be to get a driver's license when you started driving?
16.
16. Yeah.
I got my restricted license when I was 14.
Well, yeah, that's from 15. You had to drive as an adult at 15.
Yeah, Kansas being a rural state, you could drive on farm errands or to and from school by the most direct route during the daytime. At night, you had to have a licensed driver sitting
Well,
beside you.
in Kentucky, you could drive at 12 with farm equipment, including pickup trucks.
Okay, well, that beats that.
But
I think all that has changed now. But
Yeah. Well, even back then, too many kids were going to town to get something for Pop at the store.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! I forgot to get it. I went saw my friend instead.
Yeah. How did I forget that? So here's a question I
most people-
pondered a while back. If you live on a city that's on a border of 2 states, Texarkana, Arkansas, Texarkana, Texas, how does the jurisdiction work with the police department? Does the Texarkana, Arkansas police have jurisdiction in Texarkana, Texas, and vice versa?
Are you specifically asking me that question, or?
No, I'm asking the group because I don't know. I'm throwing that out there for
Yeah,
The
everybody.
same could be said. The same could be said of Kansas City.
Right.
Well, no, I mean I can make that easy for everybody. I'm sure there's a state line or a line someplace and wherever the line is.
You know.
I mean, it's not one city.
Right. So if the Texarkana police is chasing somebody and they come up on the state line, do they just stop the pursuit or do they
I
continue?
I think they can
probably
keep
call the cops in the other one.
What did I tell you the other night? Buford Justice.
I know that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that, Chris.
I know that when we was thinking about moving there, I had called the Texarkana College, which is in Texarkana, Texas. Well, because of my Medicaid or whatever, I have to remain in Arkansas, so we'd have to live on the Arkansas side. And I called them to ask about the tuition thing. What if I lived on the Arkansas side, went to Texas,
You're out of state.
college
Out of
in
state,
Texas,
yeah.
they said I had to pay out of state.
Yep.
Out of state, out of state.
Even though it's right across the road.
A foot's a foot or mile's a mile, doesn't matter. But I was going to say something that again, this one I know about on personal. If you happen to be driving not crazy fast, but fast, it's kind of they'll let the cop go 50 feet over the line as long as they call ahead, type of thing.
I
But if
just
you're blowing
wondered.
by, everybody's chasing you. And then last Tuesday, if they had a bad experience with the cop, they'll give him hell, you know.
Guy in our county had everybody's attention. They had several agencies chasing him.
Exactly. Because when you start to think you're over state lines and everybody likes to you at that point, hell, that guy might chase you.
Well, I'd love to be a fly on the wall. When that guy goes to court, I'd love to see what the judge says to him. Well,
Ever heard of people drag racing on the airport runway?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Hopefully the
But that
airport's
actually does.
closed. Is the airport closed?
I don't know.
I've
they
seen
do
it both
that.
ways.
Wow.
yeah,
Well,
there's
it's
stupid
small.
people out there chasing planes. I don't know why.
Just a small airport, that's what I meant.
I'm talking to these international airports, people trying to chase down a Boeing 747. You're not gonna chase it down. It's gonna keep ahead of you. Oh no, I can catch it. It'll take
No,
off before
actually-
you even get close to it.
Actually, on the ground, you can pass a lot of cars. They leave the ground about 185.
An airplane leaves the ground at 185 miles an hour, so you can.
A Boeing, yeah.
Wonder what the
get
charges
far
would be on that if they.
you can-
What were you doing? I was chasing the airplane. What?
Then when it gets up in the air, it's like close to 600 miles an hour.
Exactly, but not right away.
Not right away.
Those are bumblebees flying.
Train going through.
Well, if you took physics in high school or college, a bumblebee can't fly.
Either can a helicopter.
That's not what Michelangelo said. Michelangelo? Yeah.
A bumblebee
Right.
can't fly.
Nope. Aerodynamically, it cannot fly. But it does. Figure that out.
If I can't sleep tonight because I'm thinking about some dumb bumblebee tonight, I'm gonna be pissed. I'll be up at 3 o'clock in the morning going, why can't the bumblebee fly? So can a helicopter fly upside down, Greg?
I don't think so.
You can if you force it to, but they're not designed to.
I don't think I'd want to be in the helicopter someone forced it to see if it could do it or not.
I don't think it could, and I don't know for sure, but I would think the rotors would be going pitched the wrong way.
Ian, you know something strange? I typed in the first few words on Google, can a helicopter, and the first suggestion is fly upside down.
Oh, yeah. That's a popular question, I bet.
I'll bet, yeah. What did it say, Chris? Huh? Okay, share the humor.
There are pictures of flying upside down, but I'm pretty sure it's fake.
Well, if it's on the internet, it's not. It's got to be real. I mean, it can't be
Well,
fake.
Tim said they can, but usually structurally it destroys them. They're not designed to.
Don't think I'd want to find out.
Hold on, I'm gonna share the screen. I gotta find where y'all at.
Do we like China right now? I forgot.
Okay, I gotta put this on the other monitor. I just think that's funny.
Let's see. Seriously.
Kind of funny to watch his monitor watching Zoom and watching him move.
Yeah,
There we
I was
go.
just thinking about it.
Can y'all see that? Those pictures.
That Black Hawk down there in the lower second row left, I'm pretty sure that's not going to. Oh, there you go.
No, wait a minute.
Yeah, well,
What the hell's this?
I know campers do drive on the air, I'm sure of that.
That's funny. Oh, geez. Well, looks like somebody in that second row was explaining how the helicopter works with the pictures and the arrows and the explanation.
Hmm.
But that was pretty neat watching. Oh, you playing it? What looked like he had icons everywhere with like people silhouettes or something. I didn't know until tonight that the TV show The Wild Wild West, when it first came out, was in black and white.
Robert Conrad.
Gordon, Martin.
Ross Martin.
Yep.
Yep.
Bye Bye Black Sheep.
That's a good series too.
That was some of the best TV, black and white TV.
That's on every Saturday night.
What's that? Baba Black Sheep?
Yeah. 2 episodes.
Lorna found a channel on the Roku today that was all music. It was all concerts. For the most part, it was pretty good. A lot of good music. There were a couple songs I kind of stood there and went, "We listen to this? People paid money to go see this?"
Yeah, but not much.
I don't know. People pay pretty hefty prices to go see groups. Well, they have in the last 2 years, but
Yeah,
The
I
only
remember.
groups I go see is Southern Gospel Quartets, like at the church down the road from
They
me.
usually
And
take
whenever I
money.
go to them, it's free, except for they take up an offering and it's
right.
donation. You don't have to.
I like those. I go to those too. You make money off those baskets. You just take a couple $100 out of them.
I still can't type. I'm about to give up on typing. About to give up on talking too.
Need one of them word translators.
Oh yeah.
Dragon Live. The new ones.
Not sure.
Yeah, I used to use that at the school. When I was in high school, they gave me a license, and you had to. I don't use it anymore because you have to train it to understand your voice. Google works much better.
The doctor's offices still use a version of it.
I think they gave me like version 11 professional or something.
Well, it's owned by Microsoft now, believe it or not. And they bought it for like $14 billion.
I didn't know that. But I think I'll just stick with the Google or the built-in dictation feature that's built into a Word or PowerPoint or whatever.
And I'm not joking. That's why they bought it, to improve their dictation software. Microsoft.
Well, I don't doubt it. I believe you. So you're talking about to improve the dictation software that's built into Microsoft Word.
In their products, yes. Microsoft is famous for that through the years. If they can't make something, buy it.
Listening to Windows Weekly the other night when I was going to bed, and one of the things they mentioned is Sasha Nadella's son died.
Or Bud's back.
When you're typing, about to give up. I'm trying to answer this text, and I put the word sharing, and it put Sharon, the woman's name,
Nice Sharona.
the knack.
Mm-hmm.
Doug Feiger.
We're in a winter weather advisory based in effect from midnight tonight till 6 a.m. Central Standard Time Sunday. Mixed precipitation expected. Total snow accumulation 2 to 4 inches, and ice accumulations of up to 1/10 of an inch. Oh, we get to go skating on the streets again.
Hell,
Believe it or
it
not, has
goes.
happened before. And then so much ice, people are out skating on the streets.
So when do you become pretty much snow free, Rick? May?
August.
Almost, yes.
Oh, you had to go and mention it. We got a 50%. Oh, wait, I won't live here next Friday. I don't care. A 50% chance of snow.
If you'll be 100 and what, 20, 30 miles away?
Right at that, yeah. I'm 122, 23 miles.
But like California, where Doug is getting rain.
And Doug wishes he could see snow.
He probably can on the mountains. 1/10 of an inch of ice. Ugh. I think they'll stay home this weekend unless they get called out. Even then, it better be a damn emergency for me to walk out on the ice.
According to Google, it's 131 miles even from my house at 46 Mitchell to my new house at 7712 Orchard Village in Indianapolis. So I don't necessarily agree with the way they suggest you go.
Are you gonna have apples, or are you gonna have oranges, or are you gonna have?
What, on next weekend?
No, at your new house, are you gonna have fruit?
I don't know. Are we supposed to have fruit?
You said it's you said your new house is at Orchard Village, and you know you have apple orchard and you know for fruit and stuff.
Grand Port, Revelation, Black, Big Sandy. Oh.
I love it when he attempts to try humor. How long should I leave him in there for?
Oh, you put him in a waiting room. I wonder where he was.
5 minutes.
No, he'll just
Well,
look.
that boy,
Look at that smile on his face.
I know that's. I do like it when you attempt humor, Alex. I really do. That was a good one. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure at some point in time, Lorna will kick into some of her Filipino traditions, and we'll put coins in the corner, and there'll be fruit on the tables, and there'll be a housewarming and everything else. So won't be next weekend.
You gonna leave the chickens?
Yeah, we are leaving the chickens.
You gonna get more?
No. No, I'm not even. In fact, I'm probably going to tell a little white lie and tell Lauren I looked into the code, and city code says we can't have chickens. I'm not looking it up, though. Hopefully she's not watching a stream tonight. She's not behind me, is she? Okay. She did sneak in a couple times earlier today when Robert and Alex and I were talking. And I think once when Alex and Darren and I were talking. I don't understand why they're taking this route to go there. That's just crazy. But I guess they don't. I guess Google probably doesn't get out and drive the back roads in like people do.
You surprised I've seen it for a little while.
Yeah, I haven't seen one in a long while, actually. And then, well, of course, they don't know obviously. When is this done? It says 2022. They actually have us going in on a road that I know is currently down to 2 lanes. It was 4 lanes because of construction. So I would want to avoid that nightmare completely. Doesn't matter, we'll get there. We'll catch up on chat here. Matthew Camp says in March. I guess he's asking about the snow. Oh yeah, I've seen snow in March. Seen snow in
Yeah,
October.
there's
April.
we've got a group of people with one of our Bible study guys that would come to college every week. He's taking a group to the Ark about every year. He went to the Ark about every year on spring break, and one time it was up there. They took a picture, and they had snow up there in Kentucky.
It does snow in Kentucky. There we go. Matthew
In
said,
1993, it snowed. March of 1993, it snowed in parts of Georgia, and even down northern Florida had a big superstorm.
did they close the state?
Do what now?
Did they close the state?
No.
I found
Florida
it.
don't.
I found when we were
Florida
in.
don't close.
I found it funny in Nevada when it snowed that one time that everybody was going crazy because of the little bit of snow that was there. They actually
Yeah, that's
closed.
about what happened. That's about what happened around here when it snows.
I couldn't believe they
closed.
closed the school.
They closed the school around here. They closed it. I mean, that's the only time I get.
Well, the ironic thing about when they closed the school in Vegas was it was the day after the snow was gone to give the kids a snow day. Okay, that made no sense. And that what little bit of snow there was, it wasn't enough to make a snowman, so why give the kids the day off from school? You guys don't have heat days though, do you, Jeff?
Yep.
We do.
I can remember twice when it legitimately snowed enough to close the schools, at least in parts of town. I lived up above Summerlin Hospital the first time we lived here, and we had enough elevation there. We had about 1.5 inches in the backyard one time.
Yeah, we didn't have. I mean, it covered the ground. The streets were wet, and I mean, it was.
Where I am now, we're down at a lower elevation. We just had enough to make, sort of say, sprinkle a little snow or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
it.
it's. But I guess if
But,
you're born and raised in Vegas, that would be a big deal.
Well, the problem here is that there's so little precipitation that when you get just the first little bit, there's enough rubber from tires rubbing on the road and oil dropping from cars that until it rains or whatever enough to wash it off, it gets really slick first.
Oh, yeah.
And people here are pretty much utterly clueless how to drive on slick roads.
I would agree with that.
Around here, there's sometimes that we go a whole week and it don't even hasn't but rain for a whole week. There's been times that I thought the sun would never come back out because it rains so much.
But there's people every place who don't know how to drive on slick roads. When I lived in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, we were relatively hilly in part of town. And it would snow, and I'd be coming home from work, and I had a little Datsun 210 hatchback, rear wheel drive. But if I could just keep going steady, I could make it up and down the hills. But there would always be some fool that would stop and then spin his wheels trying to get going again, then I'd have to stop. And then it's park up against the curb and get out the chains. You know,
Did that become a Sentra or whatever?
what's that?
Did the B210 become the Sentra?
Don't know. Mine was a 210, it wasn't a B210.
Oh.
It was the first year they used catalytic converters, it was a 79. And I think the Sentra is the low end, isn't it, now?
I think
Or
so.
was, whatever. I don't know what they have now. Hardly anybody makes real cars anymore, except for stuff like a Mustang or Corvette.
Electric. I was reading where William Shatner bought a electric Harley from Harley Davidson. It's supposed to get 200 miles. It got like 70. Didn't have enough batteries on it.
I was trying to find the pictures I have of that massive
Need to pedal a
snow.
little faster.
So, Gary, how much money are you saving, of charging up your Tesla versus filling up at the gas station?
Today, probably better, but when we first got it, not much different. Well, first of all, it's charged at home, and I haven't calculated a difference. Our electric bills are so high anyway, it's not funny. I run half the state on it, so.
I'd like to have an MGB roadster, but I'm too big to fit in it.
I'm gonna go.
MGB's nice looking. I knew a kid in high school that had one. His dad was one of the local welfare people.
It's gotta be one with 3 windshield wipers on the front.
Ah. Well, I guess I'm thinking I'm mistaken. He had a Triumph. And it was a piece of junk. Always in the shop.
That's the problem. My brother-in-law had one of those. He wasn't one of the wealthier ones. He couldn't afford to take care of it.
Yeah, MGB's a nice looking car though.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember.
I've always wanted an XK though.
When I was a child, I was fascinated by windshield wipers. And I've always liked the cars where they had 3 wipers.
Don't tell anybody.
Oops, a little late. Half the world knows now.
Don't tell nobody I used to find anything I could, a stick or anything, and walk around doing windshield wipers.
So Robert asked if you got your all-in-one fixed. I'll let you answer that.
It's not fixed yet.
You made any headway?
I haven't. Not really. I do know when it stays off for a while, it does those 8 beeps. But
And then if you shut it off and on again right away, it doesn't beep, right?
It don't.
That's weird.
8 beeps with a white light flashing, and then it turns red. Next time you turn it on, it's red.
Then what we did, somebody said last night the 8 beeps are supposedly something to do with the video. Isn't that what you found, Ken, last night? Something someplace?
Yes.
Said 8 beeps with the video?
Yeah. Well, I'm 0 for 2. I'm trying to find the massive snowstorm we had in Vegas. I've got pictures of it. Just don't
That
remember.
right there, on top of the optical drive. I'm not gonna mess with it tonight, but that's that display panel thing. Whatever it's called. I did get some fresh batteries, but I hadn't opened them yet. It does have a new battery in it from a bag, but I did hear something also about the CMOS battery I read where it can be shorted out. I don't know if it meant the socket. Or what? Wow.
Indiana teacher faces battery charges after video shows him hitting a child. What is it with teachers nowadays? They just completely lost it. It's like the fifth or sixth teacher I've heard around the United States that got charged with battery.
Does it say what city or what school?
Indiana. I don't know what city.
Wintermute wants to know, is someone swapping USB drives or is my computer going crazy? That would be me. Yes, I'm trying to find a picture of the big snowstorm in Vegas, and I'm down to the last one, so I'll stop. I know you guys could hear the noise it was making, but the way I've got it set up, it no longer interferes with the stream, except for the noise.
Yeah, it's okay if I share my screen.
You may. I appreciate you
I
asking.
got something from a snowstorm here. December the 30th, 2003, at the first house we had out here. We're up at a reasonable elevation. Had a little over an inch in the backyard.
Oh, the jacuzzi didn't freeze over. You couldn't go enjoy it.
No, no ice skating, sorry.
Yeah, doggone it. That's a little bit more than what we had when I was still there in February of 2019. Because that's a little bit of snow right there.
Well, ever since the world got twisted off its axis,
Lisa?
they were saying Canada has been warmer than New Mexico. It's usually the other way around. They stay pretty cold up in Alaska in that area, but they said they were actually warmer than New Mexico a few years ago.
How many screens you got, Chris? Just two?
And that actually looks pretty cool, don't
Yeah, when you turn the light out like that, that doesn't look bad. Well, you got chat on one screen and Zoom on the other one?
it? Yep.
I'm gonna share one more if it's okay.
You're fine.
This is up on the very west edge of town. This is, a friend of mine lived up there. This is near where the city stops and the Red Rock Conservation Area starts. It was a higher elevation. So they
Right.
had a little more snow. It was on the same day. So he had about 2 inches up there in places.
It's pretty good. You got the date stamp in there. I like that.
That was my fancy camera. And when I moved out here, I came in December 2000. My wife and daughter were still back in Tennessee, and I bought her a digital camera for Christmas that year. 1.2 megapixels. It was about $900. Now, my $100 phone can do much better than that, of course.
Yeah, that's.
But
Well, I'm trying to see if I can find the Indiana deal here.
My baptism was recorded on VHS, and it also has the time and date stamp on it.
I need something to play VHS tapes. I got a few of them I'd still like to convert. They're getting so old that the tapes might be deteriorating at this point.
If you want to send them to me, I'll do it for you.
I may take you up on it if I can't find something to play them.
Hey, look at a Goodwill store or something.
Well, what I need is one that I can play them and then run them into something else to convert them to DVD.
Or if you don't want me to, if you don't want them put on DVD, so I don't have to send them back to you. I can put them up. I can put them up on YouTube, so you can download them and then put them on DVD.
Can you do that
I've got a bunch
privately?
of blank DVDs, but I hardly make any anymore. when they were on sale at Costco years ago, I bought 5 or 6 packs of 100, and I still got a ton of them left.
Yeah, I'm not doing nearly as many as I used to. I got
At
two.
one time, I saw a device where you could play VHS and record the DVD right in the same device.
I got one of those. The VHS player that I have right beside me here has it built, but I don't use it. I don't use the DVD recorder actually in the device I record it. Always record it to the computer. So if something goes wrong, I'm not wasting DVD after DVD. I can just delete the file if it goes bad, and then we start over.
So what kind of output signal are you taking from the VHS player?
Oh, just normal composite.
RCA cables?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's converting over to, I've got that plugged into a converter that's converting over to HDMI. So I can run that HDMI into my capture card, and then from my capture card that goes to my TV screen and to OBS for me to record it.
Yeah, if I can find what I've got, I may contact you about doing some of that. It'd be easier than me trying to run down all the equipment to do it myself.
Or you would have to take it to Walmart or Walgreens or somewhere, and they ship it off somewhere, and they charge you a whole lot more than I do.
Yeah, well, no, I'd rather you do it if I was going to have somebody do it. I mean, I'd rather give the business of you than pay somebody like Walgreens or whatever.
That kid suffered injuries after that teacher slapped him. He slapped him that hard.
Well, the thing we saw out here recently, some kid attacked the teacher, and she ended up in the hospital.
This teacher had the kid up against the wall, and he just, wow.
How old was the kid?
Oh, he's in grade school, I believe.
Okay.
Puts the kid up against the wall and talks to him, just bam! Oh, God. You know, you watch that so many times.
Well, I got your email, Alex. If I can find everything I want, I'll figure out what I want to get converted and email you. I've got a player someplace, but I'm not sure if I got the right cables and everything to take a signal out, and I wouldn't know. I wouldn't have all the other equipment to do something with it anyway. So send it to the professor, maybe.
I'm sure he'd do it for you.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't send any of those tapes, Jeff.
What's that?
Don't send any of those tapes.
So, Alex, you said you could
I don't
upload
think
them.
I have any of those tapes.
Upload them to YouTube. Would you do that privately? Can you do that so that only?
Yeah, not privately, because if I do it privately on YouTube, only I can see it, but I post it as an unlisted video, make a playlist, put all the videos in a playlist, and then send him the link so that only he can see it, and use some tool to download some YouTube downloader program.
Yeah, I've got a YouTube downloader.
Okay.
To download the videos, just paste the link in there, download the video, and then you'll be able to put it on a DVD, or I could put it on DVD or flash drive for you or whatever, because it just saves it as MP4 files from OBS.
Right.
I think it was either Jeff or Alex that asked the question, and I answered it to my crazy ability. And I think the question was, what would happen to, or what direction is YouTube going in? About a week or two ago. I have a question. You guys just brought up something. What is private in what you just said to Jeff about password or whatever? How does YouTube get anything out of those two kinds of files?
Probably won't get anything out of it if the channel's not monetized.
Well, I mean, I'm devil's advocate, but Alex puts something up there and puts a password on it that only he can see, or private, whatever it's called.
If it's private, it means that I have to log in to my account. You have to be logged into my account in order to be able to see it.
So why would YouTube want you to be allowed to do that? What
Good
do they get out of
question.
it?
Especially if you are eligible for monetization, they're not going to get anything out of it because no
If you're
one's
not
seen it.
eligible, you get less
Well,
than.
if you're not eligible, if somebody, say, if it's not private and somebody watches it with ads, I assume they make a little money off the ads.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
I've
But
actually
that's
seen.
not that much money, I wouldn't think.
Well, actually, Jeff, I've seen the Ford Bronco advertised, so it's probably a pretty penny, depending on what the ad is. If it's Manscaped, it's probably not a lot, but Ford Bronco or whatever. And then if it's private, where you got to give me the key to it. The point I'm making is if only 10 people see it, even if it's monetized, how much is that?
Doug made a video on that not too long ago, and because I asked him the question, what's the point of doing a private live stream? And the point of doing a private live stream is because if I want to do a private live stream and I only want to invite 10, I can use that just to test stuff out. I can email, or I can put in Ken's email, and YouTube will send him a link to the private live stream.
Right.
But he has to log into his account.
No, but I'm asking, what does YouTube get out of it?
I don't think
Why would they
anything.
want you to even do that? Well, you're taking up his space at that point. I can't watch it and then make any money out of me.
Did you hear my crazy retroactive question I asked the other night? Take that as a no. So I don't want to make any money off this. If I ever get to 1,000 subscribers and I have the option for monetization, I will not check it. But here was a hypothetical thought that ran through my crazy head. Let's just say I get to 1,000 subscribers, and let's just say for grins, I say, yeah, I'm going to check monetization. I've got like 13,000 views. Do I get paid for those 13,000 views retroactively?
That I've checked, no.
He didn't have to say it that quickly. He could have said, let me think about this a second and give me hope that I'm going to get paid.
The problem with having that many viewers is you're pretty much stuck to YouTube, and you keep. That's for me. You'd have to keep making videos.
Oh, sure. Sure.
I'll say one thing to what you just said, Ken. Why wouldn't you take the monetization and help give it to charity? Why let YouTube keep it?
Why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Never thought about it, to be honest with you.
I mean, I don't know if you go to church or whatnot. Your church, your school, whatever.
Well, if I ever get to that point, which I don't think I'll ever hit 1,000 subscribers, I don't think I'm going to hit 200 subscribers, but if that point ever gets there, that's a decision I'll have to make. That's actually a very good idea to the 3 cents I get per video after it builds up, just give that money away. But by giving it away, am I going to be able to use it as a tax write-off at the end of the year if it's that much money?
And you can write off as much as you want. It depends on how much you make.
I mean, it'll be a deduction. It won't be a 1-to-1 against what you owe.
Exactly. That's one of my pet peeves when somebody says, Gary, my wife and I give charity at the end of the year. And the cool thing is, my company matches. So depending on how much you give, obviously, you get a nice plaque from, whatever, St. Jude's Hospital that, goes in your office, or goes in the hallway, whatever. And you get a personal one also.
Yeah, but unless you're getting a credit instead of a deduction, still costs you money.
Yeah, but the point is, just if I make $10 and I give $5 away, I don't get taxed on $5. I get taxed on 10, and I take $2 away from my tax. A deduction, as you just said. People think that if you give away $10, you owe no taxes.
No.
But
I can't itemize anymore, even though I'm paying off a hefty mortgage. It just doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got that down to a science. It's real close.
Yeah.
With all the changes in the tax laws under whoever in recent years.
I love that. I mean, I know exactly what you're saying. You said, well, man, son of a, spent 4 hours, you saved 32 cents.
IRS deducted $829 out of my checking account 2 days ago.
Oh,
Ouch.
I'm still being audited from 2 years ago.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna might get some back this year. I like to end up owing a little bit, because I don't like giving the government a loan during most of the year.
yeah.
Yeah, we pay quarterly too.
Well, I paid some quarterly, and I overestimated this year, so if my tax estimate is right, and I haven't finished them yet exactly, gonna have about $1,000 I could get back, and the question is, do I take that back now, or do I just apply that to next year's taxes so I don't have to pay anything quarterly?
That's about how much I'm gonna owe them when I get done with my taxes, a little over 1,000.
What you wanna do is you wanna owe about 9 or 10% of what the total bill is at the end of the year. If you go over 10, you may owe a penalty.
You pay too much, you owe a penalty. Hello?
Pay too much, you owe. Don't pay enough, you owe. Yeah. So I only need 887 more subscribers to hit 1,000. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Well, how long will it take me to create another 887 accounts?
The question is, how long will they stay active?
Yep. Probably couldn't go to each one of them often enough to keep them active.
So one of you math geniuses figure out with the 7 people that are here, if we divide 887 by 7, how many accounts do we got to make?
I don't think
about 111, 112 apiece.
I don't think Google closes accounts. Seriously.
It's probably not worth the cost to them to close the accounts unless it can be completely automated.
Yeah, but you can find out if it's been 2 years since somebody logged on to your email.
Hey Gary, you say, well, if I upload videos and make it private or unlisted, YouTube can't make any money, so I'm just taking up space. Well, what about all that? Every time somebody makes a Google account, a new Google account, Google automatically gives them 15 gigs of storage, and a lot of people don't use any of that.
Well, actually, on that one, Alex, looking at business magazines, no, they don't. You can use up to 15 gig. If you don't use 15 gig, it's not reserved for you. So the three of us, you, me, Jeff, all signed up today. They didn't put 45 gig away. If I use it, they put 15. If you and Jeff don't, it's still 15.
I mean, like I've got actually 2 Google Drive accounts just through circumstances. And I'm entitled to X, but I'm only using like less than a megabyte actually right now.
So if I put some out there until you're needed, they don't put 15 on the drive someplace to say, don't use that.
Right. I mean, they've got a lot of spare space and they just keep track of how much I'm entitled to.
And if you're Microsoft, just sign up with a credit card, and when you go over, you pay them.
Yeah.
But I mean, I agree that you can get up to 15, but if you don't, you don't.
Well, right. I mean, but yes, like you said, they don't have a 15 gigabytes with my name on it set aside that nobody else can touch. They've got a big pool of space that they allocate as needed up to whatever each individual's limit is.
Right. Same with Microsoft. If you have, I'm still calling Office for Office 365. It's supposed to be 1 terabyte. Again, I've read, they had an interview about that, oh God, 2 years ago maybe. And somebody posed the question, and it was like, no. If you use 1 terabyte, most certainly you are right. But if you don't use it, we aren't reserving it for every one of our Microsoft 365 customers.
Right, and they know from experience how much reserve they need to accommodate people.
Yeah, next Tuesday, not everybody's going to start putting 1 terabyte out there.
I mean, if you really wanted to store a bunch of stuff, you go buy a family account, you get up to 6 users, each one with a terabyte.
Yeah.
But I'm not too inclined to store that much stuff out there anyway. I have used Google Drive on some consulting work I did in the past, and the other folks and I that were doing the work shared stuff through Google Drive, but we didn't amount to all that much space at any one time.
Well, there's one thing about OneDrive that I actually use. I said I'll never use it, but as with the iPhone, you can put Word on the iPhone.
Yep.
You take all your documents, you can save them to OneDrive, and then your home Word, you copy them off of iDrive and use them.
Now run that past one more time.
You're on your iPhone. It has Word for the iPhone.
Right.
And you type your resume. I'm just okay. Save it to OneDrive from the phone.
Right.
Go home, open Word up, read off the OneDrive your resume.
Okay.
And you didn't have to save it anything weird. You didn't have to go iCloud or.
Okay. Okay.
It's no big deal. It's just quick to save it where you just create it,
Sure. All right.
Because there's really no easy way to do that short of OneDrive.
Now let me ask you a dumb question. I've got the stuff that was on an Android. I assume the Word that's on an iPhone or even an Android, for that matter, isn't the full-fledged version.
I mean, I have it literally right next to it, but I mean, no, obviously it's not the full-fledged version, but
Well, I mean, it's not like you would have on a computer.
no, but it is. You
Mac or
recognize it as
PC.
Word.
Yeah.
You recognize it as Word. So yeah, that's
Oh,
what.
yeah. I mean, does it have a few
It's
more
like
features?
it's like
Than the
Microsoft
web
has
version?
that online version of Word or Excel.
Yeah, it'd be close to something like that. I mean,
It's probably got a few more things than the web version, I would assume.
yeah, I mean, but it's not. I mean, it's. You would say that's Word, but it's not Word
Yeah.
that you're using right now.
Right. Right.
As far as I know, that Google may have changed this, but if you are saving Google Docs, Google Sheets, or Google Slides, or Google Documents to your Google Drive, that doesn't count as your space. As your 15 gigs. That's the way it's been in the past. I don't know if it's still that way, but the way it has been, if you make Google Docs or whatever and save it up there on Google Drive, it's not taking up your 15 gigs of space. Only if you put like videos and pictures and stuff like that up there, or your emails or.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say around because I don't follow it at all, but I thought I read someplace that Google might have changed that with the pictures.
They used to have a separate app for the pictures, didn't they?
But we have unlimited pictures out there. Now they limited it. I thought. I don't know.
It might be that you can have pictures are unlimited up to a certain size, but once they exceed a certain size, then they cost you space. Like if Tim was to upload his professional quality photos up there, those would probably cost him space.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know, but I thought I read. I for a while was following all the cloud stuff back and forth, but I don't know if you start following how much the cloud is for business transactions, it's not cheap.
Mm-hmm. No, this the Node my web hosting company. If you want to buy extra space from them, it's like $1 per gigabyte.
Well, I can remember years ago, the lab I worked at, we had access to a Cray, and storage on that was like $1 a megabyte a day, which adds up pretty quick.
Yeah, it's the megabyte portion, or whatever size back then, sounds reasonable. But remember, they're charging per day or per hour or per time.
Right. I mean, if you had a megabyte sitting out there per day, that was $1. And if you're doing a big project where you're generating a lot of data, they suck your account dry pretty quick.
Exactly. That's what the cloud is like.
With this particular company, if you have a virtual machine on their service, whether it's powered on or being accessed or not, even if it's completely powered off and nobody can access it, they're still charging you for it, and they'll continue to charge you for it until you actually go in there and delete it.
My favorite thing is similar to what you're saying, or all three of us, Alex, Jeff, and Gary, is forget about the server that's out there. I mean, somebody will keep paying the bill forever. And somebody new at IT or somebody said, give me all the bills for almost $300. Every place I work, 4 places, and everyone, there's like 3 or 4 bills are getting paid.
I mean,
every
of course,
quarter.
storage is so much less expensive than it used to be. Originally, for everyday use, we had some IBM mainframes at the lab. Originally, they were 360s. Later on, they were like 3033s or something like that.
Yeah.
And we could buy hard drives to use on the mainframe if you had the right kind of project money. And the rule was if when you bought one, you had to buy 2 spindles. And the price of you having one on there was you gave 1 spindle to the computer center. So you got half the storage that you were buying with your capital money or whatever. And we had some 3350 disk drives, and seemed like a lot at the time, but when you look back and look up what the specs on them were, those were maybe, 40 or 50 megabytes at most.
I know what you're talking about.
And nowadays that seems like a ludicrous, but I mean, I can remember I had a machine at work that I got some project money, and I bought a 300 megabyte SCSI drive for it. And that was a big damn drive, I thought.
First drive I bought was a 5 meg drive.
Probably for an XT or XT clone.
Yep. For all you people who think terabyte's small nowadays.
My first computer was a 286, and I bought a 30 megabyte Seagate drive for it. And that was a lot of space. And you may think I sound crazy, but I had DOS 3.3, 30 megabyte drive, 286 with a 287 math coprocessor, and had a compiler and a Word